Good evening, welcome yet again to our digital edition of NTV Weekend Edition here on NTV's social media platforms. I'm Joram Paul Soko. It's the 1st of August 2026. Wish you a happy new month with so many blessings coming your way. But then also, as you await for our maiden return to mainstream media on our big return on Ugandan television. This is the NTV Weekend Edition. We do have plenty of stories coming your way, and we're definitely going to be diving right into it. Though we start off from a sad point of view, where a family of 6, including 4 children, has been killed by lightning in Nyanza Cell or Labour Town Council in Maracha district. According to the local council 3 chairperson of Oleba Town Council, Robert Angupi, the incident occurred at 5 a.m. on Saturday during heavy rain. Rashul Adidi has more.
What I need to confirm to you on air is that tragedy struck Oleba Town Council in Maracha district in West Nile part of this country after lightning strike killed 6 family members, who includes the head of the family, the wife, and the 4 children. Now, according to the district police commander for Maracha district, that is Superintendent of Police Swaib Taban, this incident is believed to have happened between 3 to 4 a.m. Of Saturday morning, and this is said to have believed that the lightning strike touched a grass church house where these family members were sleeping, and it has to burn them beyond recognition. So police was able to actually get into the scene and did post-mortem. Now, this particular incident happened in a village that has been known as Nyanza Cell in Oleba Town Council, Maracha district. Now, according to Oleba Town Council S3 chairperson, that is Mr. Angupi Robert, the incident occurred at 5 a.m. According to a report that the district leadership released, the deceased persons or the victims of this particular incident have been identified as 37-year-old, that is Amanda Godfrey, who is the father or the head of the family, who has also succumbed to this particular incident, and then his wife, who has been identified as Yaru Harriet, 31, also died in the incident, and their 4 children, who includes Desire Patience, 9-year-old, Lekuru Jovia, Ikoru Blessing, and 1-year-old Martha Gladys, also died in this particular incident. So police has so far come out to release an official statement saying that following the incident, they were able to retrieve the bodies from this particular house, which was burnt following the lightning that struck the family, and they did a post-mortem before handing back the bodies to the family members for a decent burial. However, police has warned the community members of this particular village against having allegations surrounding this particular incident. According to them, this is a very natural disaster that is always expected in such kind of times when West Nile region is experiencing a heavy downpour. Now, what I need to confirm to you also is that for the past few weeks, West Nile region has been experiencing heavy rains, and meteorologists are warning that looking at the pattern of the rain this time, there are possibilities that such kind of natural disasters are bound to happen at this time. So they're warning families to make sure that they are a little bit extra careful on where they actually take refuge whenever it is raining, not forgetting institutions like schools. They're also warning that this is the right time that schools need to ensure that they have lightning arresters, since West Nile is experiencing heavy rains during the past few months, and of course this is expected to continue, since this is known as the month when rains are always expected to be very heavy. Now, this is not just an isolated case in West Nile sub-region where lightning has killed family members. A flashback in 2022, we also did witness a similar incident where 4 children were struck dead when they were playing in a football field in Arua district. Similarly, in 2020, lightning also claimed lives of 10 children who were taking shelter in a storm. So these are not just an isolated case in West Nile sub-region, but these cases have been happening, and meteorologists are warning that these incidences are bound to happen looking at the rain patterns in Western sub-region, which have now become a little bit heavy. So this is what I need to confirm to you here. Maracha district is currently grieving the death of 6 family members who were struck down by lightning. Back to you in the studio to continue with some of the stories making headlines this weekend.
May the souls of the deceased rest in eternal peace. Now moving on, in Kampala, there is a simple walkthrough through traffic or a crowded market can end with an empty pocket, bag, and any valuable like a mobile phone. Now, since early last month, however, police launched an operation aimed at ending or reducing the city's relentless phone-snatching scourge, with officers having recovered more than 700 suspected stolen electronic devices as of July 2026 in an operation that was carried out. Now, our reporter takes us inside the hall and the hopes of owners still searching for their lost gadgets.
Phone theft remains one of Kampala's most rampant crimes. Official police figures from the 2025 annual crime report show that there were nearly 5,800 mobile phone theft cases nationwide, the overwhelming majority concentrated in the Kampala metropolitan area. Hotspots like Kabalagala, Old Kampala and Ginger Road continue to top the list. Snatching from vehicles stuck in traffic, quick grabs in markets and organized trafficking rings have left thousands of residents and visitors frustrated and vulnerable.
Officer, can they?
Now, following a wave of public complaints about phone snatching and theft, police has made a significant progress in recovering the stolen electronic devices.
The Kampala Metropolitan Police, through officers from Kampala Central Police Station, recovered more than 700 suspected stolen electronic devices during an operation conducted in July 2026 at Cooper Complex building in Kampala.
The whole includes a wide range of mobile phones, high-end iPhones, various Android models, and even basic button phones, plus tablets, laptops, and other gadgets. Some phones still display wallpaper photos of people police believe are the rightful owners.
We have Samsung phones, we have Techno phones, we have tabs, we have chargers, we have laptops. This operation followed information indicating that some dealers were trafficking suspected stolen phones, altering their serial numbers and selling them outside the country.
Today, some of those devices were displayed at the Central Police Station in the capital, Kampala. Several people turned up hoping for a reunion with their stolen phones. They carefully scanned the tables, comparing serial numbers and looking for familiar wallpapers or cases clinging to the chunks that their property might be among the recovered items.
We call upon anyone who has lost a mobile phone or any other electronic device to visit Kampala Central Police Station with proof of ownership to verify whether their property has been recovered. In addition, Katwe Police Station has several recovered iPhones awaiting identification and collection by their rightful owners.
For many Kampala residents, a phone is more than a gadget. It holds contacts, mobile money, family photos, and daily security. While this recovery of over 700 devices offers a measure of hope, the statistics show the battle against phone snatching is far from over. Police say operations will continue. For now, if you have lost a device, check with the Central Police Station in Kampala. Your phone might just be waiting for you. Daniel Kibet, NTV.
Now, elsewhere, while the environmental and economic impacts of prolonged dry spells are frequently documented through the lens of failing harvests and starving livestock, Ngora district in eastern Uganda is currently grappling with a severe drought that has resulted in critical water shortage that has negatively impacted on educational institutions across the district. Schools and other learning centers are grappling to provide conducive environment for academic success due to the lack of accessible water. We have more.
In Ngora district, many schools are struggling to operate effectively as water scarcity becomes more pronounced. The rocky topography that does not allow easy borehole drilling has left the few water sources dry, forcing schools to rely on distant boreholes or traditional water collection points such as spring wells. This has disrupted learning.
We have tried to dig and build an underground tank, but that one also works only when there is rain. Right now there is no rain, and our challenge, there is no water. When there is no rain, what we do, the children have to go out of school to almost all the boreholes.
With a population of over 2,200 students, schools like Mukura Memorial School, Kobwin Seed School have hired private teams to supply water. They charge 500 shillings for every jerrycan of water supplied.
There is two people who bring for us water, and that one costs 500 shillings per jerrycan. And we put that water for children to drink, but it's also not enough.
Hygiene practices in schools have also been compromised.
The girl child is the one that is more affected. The boys don't mind about bathing, but the girls are also affected because you know their condition. So when they don't have water, they cannot help themselves well. And that's why issues of, UTI, also become so many.
Students say their concentration in class is being affected as they have to divide their minds on how to deliver water at home.
Instead of students carrying their books to go and read, students instead carry jerrycans and go to start looking for water, which affects our lessons and which affects our learning. Even during prep times, you realize that children, instead of them going to read, to carry their books and read, someone is reading but is thinking, where am I going to get water for bathing? Where am I going to... there are other people who then fetch water, but they're on pressure. Will I find my water there?
The story is not different at Kobwin Primary School, where the school administration has been receiving contributions from parents to help hire a water supplier. However, the deputy head teacher alleges that they are now unable to buy much water, following a directive from State House stopping them from making collections from the parents.
Been getting this money from the parents, but it's a bit challenging this term because last term we had a team from the State House Anti-Corruption who came and told us that we should not give extra costs to parents. We may not be able to give them enough water, though we are trying at least. But by one, like right now, if you went and checked those tanks, you will find that the water is not much, or it is even done because of the population.
Local leaders say they have secured money to provide piped water to several schools.
As a district, money was planned for connecting water to Kobwin Seed Secondary School and the nearby institutions like the health center, the primary school, and also the sub-county headquarters, where the money was planned. However, National Water has got a policy that any extension has to be done by them.
As water scarcity continues to challenge the basic operational needs of schools, it is crucial for stakeholders to address the persistent problem.
Further afield, the Bamasaba in Uganda and Kenya have launched the circumcision Imbalu at Mototo Culture Ground in Mbale City, where 5 boys from Mototo clan will be circumcised. Now, after today, the circumcision exercise will be rolled out in the entire region, with thousands of people gathered at Mototo Culture Center today, where different candidates from several clans were showcasing traditional dances.
Thousands of people today gathered at Mototo Cultural Center, where different candidates from several clans were showcasing traditional dances to the guests. Kosia Kigai Kimono, chairperson organizing committee, revealed that people have gathered from Uganda, Kenya, and cultural leaders from different regions.
We are here to officially launch Imbalu 2026, an event that officially kickstarts the circumcision in Mugisu. We've been joined by over 1,200 candidates for this year. We are going to circumcise 5 today We've made all the necessary arrangements to ensure that the event goes on well. As district local government bosses, we got the assignment a little bit late, but we've maneuvered around to ensure that we deliver the best.
Moses Kutoi, Minister for Culture, said that circumcision transforms boys from childhood to adulthood.
Today's event marks the climax of Imbalu launch. It's there that the candidates are blessed, not only those ones who are being circumcised here, but moreover Masabaland, that now each clan is now set to circumcise according to timetable. But they begin from here. That's where the first person who got circumcised stood and faced his body.
Community, this one is a symbol that one now comes to adulthood, and secondly is it is for discipline, peace, and the unity of Bamasaba. And this is what I call upon Bamasaba, that let it not stop today.
We now talk matters Uganda Wildlife Authority, because the authority has expanded its X-site conservation program with the addition of 2 African wild dogs at the Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center, UWEC, in NTV. The pair, a male and a female, arrived on Friday afternoon, increasing the number of animal species under UA's Ex-situ Conservation and Education Program to 69. Now, the endangered animals were donated by conservation through commercialization, CTC, and were officially received and integrated in the facility, as Ivan Walunyolo reports.
The Uganda Wildlife Authority has expanded its Ex-situ conservation program with the addition of 2 African wild dogs at the Uganda Wildlife and Conservation Education Center in Entebbe. The pair of a male and a female arrived on Friday afternoon, increasing the number of animal species under UA's Ex-situ conservation and education program to 69.
We are privileged today to receive hunting dogs or African painted dogs from CTC. And we are grateful for the donation, and for us it means a lot. We even had an exhibit through funding from World Bank.
We're aware these dogs were extinct in the wild in Uganda. They are still extinct in the wild, and they're endangered. On the IUCN Red List, they are listed as endangered species. And there were a number of causes or reasons why these dogs went extinct. Probably disease in the field, in the wild there, the human-wildlife conflict, and also the habitat fragmentation that caused the dogs to go extinct.
The endangered animals were donated by conservation through commercialization, CTC, and were officially received and integrated in the facility.
So in order to build national capacity, we thought it's very wise for us to share the wild dogs between UWEC and CTC. And of course, in future, if UWEC gets more, they might share some with us to build capacity to have a strong ex-situ population between the 2 facilities.
In the future, if we want to reintroduce these dogs, we have at least a source. This can provide, a gene pool for enhancing the conservation outside there and reintroducing the dogs in the wild. So this partnership with the CTC is a good one, and we welcome it as a government of Uganda. And we want to really thank Thomas Price and his team for the good work done.
Kamana Ivan Walunyolo, NTV Weekend Edition.
Now, following the end of the LC1 elections last week, we now have an exclusive interview with one of the candidates that passed through. He's well known for holding leaders to account, but now Solomon Seranja is stepping into the leadership himself after winning the recent LC1 elections. We sat down with him to discuss his motivation and the campaign that led to his victory and his vision for the community he now serves.
Winning an election by just one vote would be enough to make anyone nervous. But for the newly elected LC1 chairperson of Bamtakwide village, it is only the beginning of an ambitious journey.
It's really bad that we have reduced the LC1 chairmanship and the entire committee to, public service spaces for the undeserved in community. You know, people say LC1s should be P7 dropouts or drunkards or that. And that is exactly the problem. And that reflects the status of our villages.
After a tight contested election, the chairperson is already thinking beyond politics and focusing on transforming his village into what he calls a model community. He says his first priority is to understand the people he serves through a village census before rolling out a 5-year strategic plan.
To be in the office of the LC1 chairperson is not a job, it is a service. So when we reduce it to be a job, that is when LC chairpersons steal money for the village. That is when even the 10% or 5% they get from land sales stays with them. That is when there is no accountability for the resources that have been gotten by the LC1. They think that that is their money because they think that's a job. It is not a job.
Access to clean water tops his agenda, followed by improving security and creating opportunities for young people and women. Plans are already in place to provide free vocational training skills such as plumbing, painting, wiring, and tiling, while women will be trained in catering and gardening to help increase household incomes.
Because I believe that my village should be a model village to the country if well managed, and if people who know how to do business and run organizations and run companies can come back and serve our people. All my committee members have jobs.
Now, away from the LC1 elections, we turn our focus to the world of business, with Uganda's ambition to build a $500 billion economy facing a harsh reality. Every year, nearly 650,000 young people enter the labor market, yet fewer than 70,000 formal jobs are created. As oil production nears, the World Bank says the country's biggest test will be turning that wealth into lasting jobs, as Betty Ndagire reports.
As Uganda prepares to join the ranks of oil-producing nations, the World Bank says success will depend less on how much oil the country gets and more on how wisely it invests the proceeds. The lender argues that stronger public spending and investment reforms will determine whether the oil era delivers broad-based economic transformation.
Commercial oil production, which is expected in fiscal year 27, will bring a significant, but I don't think transformational windfall to the budget. It will be significant, but it's not going to be enough to be transformational. I think the question that people are going to be asking 10 years later in 2035 will probably not be on how high Uganda's GDP was during the oil years, but what permanent, productive human and physical capital Uganda has built with that wealth.
The World Bank is urging the government to strengthen fiscal discipline, warning that rising debt costs and inefficient spending are already squeezing investment in infrastructure, health and education.
We want fiscal policy to stabilize. It needs to be an anchor. Macro-fiscal sustainability is one of the preconditions for effective policies, for private sector investment, and for growth and jobs.
Service delivery must be standardized across board, both in the when you are delivering in agriculture, the formalization, service delivery in terms of the public service itself, in health, in education. There must be standards that the public sector utilizes to make sure that we are moving towards an economy and a state that is measurable based on those development standards.
With the oil era approaching, the true measure of success may not be in the revenue Uganda earns, but in the opportunities it leaves behind long after the oil is gone. Betty Ndagire for NTV.
Well, that does it for business news. We now turn our focus to the world of sport, kicking off with boxers from Kampala City that won 6 out of the 12 professional bouts to emerge champions of the inaugural edition of the Friends of Boxing Inter-Edition of Friends. That is for the boxing inter-city fights between Kampala and Gulu last night at Boma Hotel in Gulu City. With 2 draws, Gulu registered 4 wins, and the event is intended to rebuild the sport of boxing in different parts of the country, as well as improve the well-being of professional boxers in Uganda.
They gave me the information earlier, so I started preparation earlier as well. I planned for this because I knew it would happen, and it has happened through God's grace. I made it. So my opponent, I already knew him before. Though I did not fight him, but I knew him before. I saw his fight at first when we went to NTV. How do you call that beach? Echo Beach. Yeah, I saw his fight and I was like, if this could be my opponent, then the 1 round you cannot even take. And indeed, today, I made the first round because I first wanted to learn him, then the second round, I had to stop him.
Golo was our first choice for the first edition because we wanted to rejuvenate boxing in Golo City. I believe the Golo citizens or the people from Golo were really entertained according to the hit that we saw coming up during some of the games, even something that we might have think they might have not been paying attention to. You might have noticed that some of them were clashing after some games here and there, showing that there is that passion for that game and they really have support for their boxers. So we just maybe we shall just try to maybe push for more events maybe in Golo to say that the sport can stay alive. But
well, that does it for our digital bulletin this evening here on NTV Weekend Edition, the 1st of August 2026. For more details, news and breaking stories, follow NTV on the socials on X at NTV Uganda, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and the website www.ntv.co.ug for the latest news, both local and international. I'm Joram Paul Sonko from the entire team behind the scenes, production, as well as the editorial Nation Media Group. Wish you all the best for the evening and a blessed night. Please do not to get your digital copy of the Daily Monitor on the eNation app and be able to subscribe and also get your latest news updates on a daily. Good evening.